Hi friends! Welcome to episode 21 of Annijuuti Knits knitting podcast. Welcome! Welcome back or welcome to join me on my journey on knitting. So this is a knitting podcast where I share everything knitting related, and my name is Anniina. I come to you from Finland, from the west coast of Finland, where I live with my family, my two little boys, and my husband. And yes, welcome to join me on my journey in knitting. You can find me on Instagram as Annijuuti Knits or on Ravelry as Annijuuti. My main focus in social media is definitely Instagram, and that's where I'm most active. So if you want to contact me, you're free to send me a DM over on Instagram, and there I will gladly reply to your messages. So welcome. Today it is Friday. It is the 11th of March. So we are definitely heading towards spring, and it has the weather has changed and the amount of light has changed. So we are gladly heading towards spring. I feel a bit funny today, or a bit, I don't know, my mood is a bit strange. So let's see if we get through this day's episode or not. If not, then you won't be seeing this video, I guess. Let's get started. All of you know the state of the world at the moment, and it's been a bit weird. Also knitting wise, I haven't had much joy in sweater knitting. I have been mainly focusing on sock knitting, but I still have quite a few things to show you. You might wonder what I am wearing. If you have followed me along, you may have seen this shawl before, and total disclaimer, I have not made it myself. This is my Slipstravaganza mystery shawl by Stephen West from 2020, and I had just made these first two sections, so the honeycombs and the stripes underneath, and then it has been sitting on a project bag for, I don't know, more than a year. But I showed you this whip on my whip parade the last episode of last year, and my dear friend Marika, she offered to knit this shawl for me, and so we had a little agreement, and then I sent her the yarn, and she whipped up this gorgeous shawl. Like I wrote in the name of the episode, that the knitting community is just the best. And I'm not saying that it's the best because you get gifts or but people are the knitters are generally so kind-hearted. The generosity, the genuinity, and the desire to help and to make other people happy. It's just so amazing. And to get something like this, I will cherish this shawl for the rest of my life. I've been wearing this actually every day since I got it. I'm not wearing it as a shawl inside, but I'm using it mostly as a scarf over my jacket, and it's a huge shawl. I will actually put a picture here. It's the size of our couch, so it is rather a big shawl. And not just did she send me this, but she had done something for me as well. I will show them here as well. So Marika had made me this needle case, which she had sewn. So there are all these pockets, and you can put your needles here. If you know me at all, you know that I have a ton of whips, so most of my needles are in use. But I do have a few of my needles also already here in this nice needle case, which was very, very, very handy. And then she sent me this gorgeous project bag. It has yarn coming out of it because I have a whip on the table that's coming out of this bag. Yes, so I don't know, so generous and so lovely. And then I got this beautiful hand-dyed, I will put it this way, it's Hando yarns, hand-dyed silk mohair, which is absolutely gorgeous. And I do have a plan for it, but I have no idea when I will get to it. So very much so a huge thank you to Marika. I have already thanked you, but again, I am so incredibly honored to receive such a beautiful gift, and I'm over the moon. So I definitely will wear this a ton. So yeah, that's what I'm wearing today. So today I have 3 finished objects, and one of them I'm also wearing. I'm not going to stand up too much, but if you saw my last episode, I showed you this Helia tee. I can put a picture me wearing it on the screen. And I didn't have much left last time you saw it, so I just managed to finish it, and I blocked it, and it's beautiful, and the yarn feels very soft. I'm pretty sure I'll be wearing a lot of it during the next months. The yarn was Slavika Yarns Porana base, which is a merino and cashmere and silk blend, and it's very, very, very lovely to wear. It was very lovely to work with, and if you want to know more about it, please go and have a look at my previous episode, or the episode where I did my 24-hour knitting challenge, and that's where I tell you more about this project. I will try and link everything that I talk about under the screen on the show notes. But I'm not so professional with the notes that sometimes I might forget something, but I will try to put my Ravelry project pages and all that if you want to have some more information. Yeah. Okay, my second finished object, I actually don't know where I put it. Let me think. 1 second. What a great podcaster, preparations and all. I haven't really been feeling it lately, so I don't know. I have already shown you this a couple of times. I finished a pair of these Regia Premium Merino Yak socks. I did this little cabling and heel flap and gusset, the Dutch heel turn, and these are now going to Marika as a thank you for knitting me this shawl, and I'm also planning on making socks for her son as well. So that's what we agreed on, and I feel so like I feel like I owe her more than 3 pairs of socks. I'm actually making her 4 pairs of socks, but still, I kind of feel like I owe her, but nevertheless, this is the first pair that's going to her. And my second finished pair, it's also socks. I don't have it here with me because I dropped it off this morning. My closest coworker is changing jobs, and that's also one reason why I've been feeling very, I don't know, blue. So I don't have that pair of socks here with me, but I showed you the project last time. But I put a picture that I took this morning. It's just a quick little shot of the socks. I actually just finished them this morning. So I did a little steam blocking and weaved in the ends and gifted them. So that's actually a good segue to my next subject, which is another knit along. I have now been feeling like knitting socks, like I said in the beginning, that they feel like a comforting knit. I know how to make socks. It's just, it comes naturally because that's how I started knitting, and that's the most, I don't know, familiar way of knitting for me. I don't have to think. I'll just knit, and I repeat those very familiar steps. So I have been feeling like knitting stripy socks, and I have been seeing very beautiful striped socks on my Instagram feed, and I was actually inspired by this person, Hannanen Crafts, on Instagram, and I came up with the idea that I will start a stripy sock knit along because I know that I am still working on some stripy socks, and that's what I want to do. And I actually found this pair that I just showed you. I was kind of running out of steam towards the end because it's just, plain, and you have to, you can't really tell how much you progress because it's just plain. So what I decided to do is I started a knit along on the 6th of March, and it will run until the end of April, and the knit along is called Raitasukkaralli. And I know that's a bit of a challenging hashtag, but it means stripy sock race, loosely translated from Finnish. And it's not a race, but every stripy sock project is welcome. You can use the hashtag Raitasukkaralli over on Instagram. And this is a very, very, very casual knit along. Just post pictures of your stripy socks. Either it's a whip or a finished object, and you'll be eligible for prizes. I will be having pattern prizes, and I also will be having some actual prizes. I contacted this very talented Finnish yarn dyer who is dyeing self-striping yarn called Taivaranta yarn, and she kindly promised to gift a stripy sock yarn with a matching mini, and that will be one of the prizes. But this was such a an idea that just happened on a whim, so I didn't really plan on it, and it's very casual. Socks bring me comfort at the moment, so if you want to join me knitting stripy socks, you're most welcome, and let's make some happy stripy socks. So that's another cal that I'm running at the moment, and I still have my Steekalong 2022 going on. I have not touched my Megha cardigan since the last episode, so I didn't bring it out today. And I am planning on finishing by the end of this month. So the Steekalong is running until the end of March, and you can join with a whip or a finished object. And I have two different hashtags: Steekalong 2022 for whips and Steekalong 2022 FO for the finished objects. And yeah, so many knit-alongs. I feel like the community is something that we can draw some strength and some joy out of. So I am definitely leaning on you guys. I'm so happy that I have found so many friendships through this channel and through my Instagram, and it's been so wonderful to get to know and to connect, and yeah, it makes me really, really happy. If you are not subscribing to my channel yet, please do. It will help me to grow my channel, and it is absolutely free for you. I have actually a little thing to mention, and that is that I have started running the ads, and that's because I am hosting these knit-alongs, and that will help me to raise a bit money towards the postage and the prices and all that. So that's why I hope you understand, and I hope you're not irritated by it. But for me, at least, I do watch a lot of podcasts, and they have ads, and I don't mind. So I hope you don't mind. Okay, so those were my finished objects, and because we were talking about the stripy sock knit-along, I will show you now another stripy sock. This is made with minis, and I don't know where you can see the best. So this is also going to my friend Marika, because I already had the stitch counts and row counts and all for her socks. So I thought it's easier to just start them. And these I made toe up. The petrol ones I made cuff down. The other stripy socks that I had finished, the mauve and the light blue ones, I also did toe up. I've been trying to learn the toe up method as well as I know cuff down, so I can then choose either or, whichever I fancy. So yeah, this is the second sock. It's just a little start, and yeah, I wasn't completely happy with the how the colors played together. They looked better on the skein, but I think they are still wearable, and they're cute, and they are colors that she really likes. So that's my second, or actually my first whip that I am going to show you today. So those minis were out of my advent last year. So I had this advent calendar, and I'm trying to utilize the minis into something nice. One more sock whip. So I have gone a bit crazy. I have been just feeling like knitting all the socks, and I haven't tried to control myself because I don't know. I think we should always do whatever makes us happy and not to force the knitting. So whatever I feel like in the evenings when I come home from work and when the kids go to bed, that's what I usually do. I just pick out a project that I fancy the most, and it's lately been all the socks. I usually don't drink while I'm filming, but today I felt so, I don't know, weird that I made myself a cup of coffee, and I'm trying to remember to breathe, and that's why I have my coffee with me today. So the next sock whip, these are going to be socks for myself. Just plain 2x2 ribbing, and then it changes into 3x1 rib, and the yarn is Mondim. This is it's actually probably the favorite yarn of Jonathan of Jonathan's Days podcast. He always seems to have Mondim on his needles. So if you saw my last episode, you saw my love note I was wearing, and I had to order some yarn to go with the brushed alpaca, and I did order some. I think it was, I can't even remember. Probably it was December, or I think it was December. And because I already had to order something and pay for the postage, I did order one skein of Mondim. And this is, I don't know, I have ripped out I think it's the color 302. And yeah, it's this very nice rusty brown, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's a little bit like heathered colorway, and I am knitting it on a 2mm needle. So is it a US Zero or something? Very small needles. I actually had to buy these needles just to make these socks, but because this is not this has no nylon or polyamide, so I wanted to make it very dense, and it's a very woolly wool. So I'm trying it out how it will last on socks with me. So that's my last sock whip that I'm going to show you today. Yeah, I hope you're doing well wherever you are. I'm not done yet. I don't know. I feel weird. Yeah. So I have 2 sweater projects that I have been working on, and I will again show you the blanket project that I showed you in the last episode. Then we have a giveaway winner also that I will announce a little bit later in this episode, because I had a little giveaway in my last episode, and today is the time to tell the winner. I feel like I'm rushing, but let's move on. Okay. If you don't know, you probably do know. I do have my own designs. I haven't published so many. It's like I'm assuming that new people are watching. Anyways, if you have ever watched or seen my Ravelry project page or my designer page, wait a second, I dropped some stitches. Ooh, there. I have published a pattern called Kaikuja Mini, and that was published last August, and that was a long project. And when I did draw that pattern, I originally draw a adult version, and then from that adult version I took parts and then made it into a kids version. But I did work on the pattern for the kids first. I have swatched the pattern for adults version, and the yarn that I had and the gauge wasn't something that I was happy with. I didn't like the the way the charts looked. So I buried that swatch under my multiple whips and forgot about the adult version. And then I have talked to a yarn dyer that produces just natural Finnish yarns, so rustic Finnish wool, and she was happy to send me some yarn to some of my designs, and I was like, okay, actually I do have a design that needs some yarn. So this is ad gifted yarn. The yarn is received for this design or a design, but I chose to do this design. And the yarn is this. It's Jalovilla Uhi. It is a 100% Finnish breeds wool. So it doesn't say which breeds. It just says, I think it's a mix of different breeds, so Finship wool and all the others that we have here in Finland. And this brown color is actually called black. So this is the natural black, which is dark natural shade of the sheep. And to pair it with, I have this yellowy color. This color is called olki, which means a straw. And this is what I've been doing. So what I ended up doing was that when I received this yarn, I hacked my whole charts. I did simplify it. I did some modifications. I changed it to a different gauge. So originally I was planning on calling the design Kaikuja and then Kaikuja Mini as in the kids version, but this is now needing a name because I did change it so much that I don't think you can even tell that it's the same base of a design. So yeah, so this is going to be completely on its own, and then I will have to figure out another name for that. I'm really enjoying working with this yarn, especially this brown or dark brown blackish tone. It has so much lanolin in it. It's like it also almost feels like it's a bit crazy, but it's very wonderful to work with, and I'm sure that, or I know that it will bloom a lot and soften up. It's already really soft. The feel of the yarn is still very soft. It's a bit creasy. You can kind of get a little glimmer into your hands while working with it. So it's been a joy to work with. I usually don't divide my my chart repeats with stitch markers, but this time I was actually making a reel, and that's why I did add my stitch markers, and I kind of liked it. It just gives you a little bit better understanding of, or not understanding, but it's much easier to spot your mistakes, and that's why I found it helpful, because I have sometimes made like a whole round of color work and at the end noticed that I have missed a repeat, or I have missed like an increase somewhere, and the whole repeat is like one stitch off for the whole round, and then you have to go back and tink the whole round, and that's annoying when you have a lot of stitches. So I found it helpful that I will insert a marker after every chart repeat, and that's how it helps to spot your mistakes, which is fabulous because, you know, whatever makes you faster or more bulletproof, that you should do. I'm not very far, you can't really see much. Keep your eyes peeled, stay tuned. You will see what will happen. I'm hoping to be able to get some progress. Wow, it's really curled up. Ooh. Okay, you can't really tell, and I again dropped some stitches. Now I'm just gonna place it gently over here and hope that I won't drop any more stitches. So that's something that I started last weekend, and it has been on my mind so many months that I don't know. I've been a bit restless with all the things happening. I think the war situation brings a lot of anxiety and insecurity, or the people are worried. And if you don't know where Finland is, I will suggest you to Google it. We share a very long border with the bad guys, and yeah, I think that brings the feeling of unease. And of course our hearts go for Ukraine, and we as a family have donated what we can, and of course hope for the best and hope for this craziness to be over. But it is what it is, and we just have to go day by day and hopefully the world will fall back into its place. But it's very unfortunate and very, very sad to see the people leaving their country, and yeah, it's a very, very sad situation. But then on a higher note, let's announce the winner of the giveaway. I did the free YouTube comment picker before I started filming, and the winner is, drum rolls, the winner is Eva Espitia. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. Eva has won herself the Chayagu needles, and now I dropped the comb, the wool comb, the Chayagu needles, and the stitch cables, these elastic tubes, so you can put your stitches resting. And Eva, please contact me either on Instagram, or you can send me an email as annijuutiknits@gmail.com. And if I don't hear from you, if I don't hear from the winner of this giveaway, I will then redraw in the next episode. But please comment and contact me so you will get your prize. So this was such an impromptu giveaway. I was just feeling like sharing the love, and this community has given me so much that I really want to give back and make someone else happy. Okay, two more whips that I have been working on. And the first you have seen, or both of them you have seen actually. So this is my Paju pullover. So it's this one is now the t-shirt version, but the original design is for a long sleeve version. I started with the short sleeve version because I wanted to test out the raglans, and because I wanted to get it done faster. So yeah, I have now finished one sleeve. It has this twisted stitch ribbing with a little cabling, little some cabling, and the inspiration for this, or actually the chart for this, is from the Japanese knitting stitch Bible for the ribbing, and that's where I have got my inspiration. I said last time that I was very inspired by a tweedy yarn, and I have actually designed this last summer when I drew it, and I already had a vision that I need like a tweedy yarn. And since then, I asked my sister if she has any name suggestions, and she said Paju. And Paju is willow in Finnish, and I think the idea comes from the neps, because willow has these little I don't know how do you, these little buds, these fuzzy buds, and they kind of look a little bit like the tweed neps in the yarn. So yeah, this will be a short sleeve and a long sleeve version, and I'm hoping that I'm able to finalize the pattern soon, and then have it tech edited, and then hopefully get it into test knitting. I have actually created now a Google form, so if you are interested in testing for me, not specifically this pattern, but any of my patterns, I have created a mailing list. So if you want to add yourself into my test knitters mailing list, you're free to do so. I will link the form on the show notes, so you can go and add your email address to my mailing list, and you will receive an email each time I post a testing call. It doesn't mean that you have to accept every test call. It just means that you will get informed when I will have an application open. So you would still need to apply, but I will give you heads up, because Instagram is such a weird place that even if you are following someone, you don't always get to see those posts or the posts from people that you really want to see. So yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing. So if you are interested in testing for me, either this sweater or something else that I'm working on in the future, please leave your details or your email address from the link down below. That's that. One more final whip, and that is going to be my Northeasterly blanket. It's been so funny watching all the podcasters lately. Everyone is making a blanket, and that's thanks to Megha from Skeins of Dreams. She is hosting a blanket make-along, the Blankets of Dreams Mal. So crocheted or knitted blankets, and that's what I also took part in. I started the Northeasterly blanket from my worsted weight scraps. The pattern has like a DK and a fingering version, but I thought the worsted goes well with that as well. So last time I had this first panel, and then I had just started the second. It was here, and I managed to do the second to match the place where the first was, and when I reached that point, I had to start growing the first panel again. So I have done the whole second panel, and then I have done a little bit of I have lengthened the first panel as well. So what I've been doing, I made a promise to myself that I am doing a bit of each day, and I have managed to do that. So I'll just either do like 2 rows or 10 minutes. 10 minutes is like a minimum, and then um, some days I've been doing an hour or whatever, and it's growing. I feel like I'm not going to show you this each podcast. Maybe we'll have a little update on every second. So if I'm keeping this momentum, I'm hoping to be able to grow this quite not fast, but steadily. So I've been really enjoying putting all my scraps here. These are mainly Novita, Seven Brothers um, scraps, and then I've had some like 100% wool scraps, and this orange is from my sweater that I made from onion, wool, and nettles yarn. So I am just going to put everything that I can, and hopefully it will become a very bright and pretty and cozy blanket, and I will get rid of my scrappy yarns that I don't have any other place. So yeah, those were all my projects from today. I can definitely see myself knitting more socks, but I'm hoping to make significant project process with my bio pullover and with my other design, and then I don't know. I'll go. I'll go with the projects that feel the best for me at a time. I actually feel much better now than I've been talking about knitting, because knitting is so dear hobby to me that hopefully you managed this far. If you did, thank you so much for watching. I think I gave my updates about life and my feelings already during the episode. I also showed my acquisitions, because those gifts that I made, I may or may not have placed an order to Woolly Knits, thanks to Megha, but it has not arrived yet. So I was being so good and controlled myself so well, and then all of a sudden I couldn't. I couldn't control myself anymore. Luckily, the postage to Finland wasn't that bad. It was £12 to Finland, so £18 a cone, and then with the 20% discount, and then plus the postage, which was £12. So I paid exactly €50 for two 500-gram cones, which is, I think, very affordable and very, I think, reasonably priced. And if there is anything, I'm sure I will like that yarn, because so many of you enjoy that yarn so much that I just couldn't resist, and I had to have my hands around some wool in it. So I have some cones on the way, but otherwise I have already shown you everything that I have got. So all I can say is I hope you are safe. I hope you enjoy your knitting and enjoy the time with your loved ones. And I will talk to you in 2 weeks' time. Happy knitting, and bye bye.